Hey people, welcome to the channel, and again talking about survival and preparedness in the honest, realistic way in which I've been doing it for, well, almost 2 decades now and counting. It is not about fear and paranoia, it is simply about analyzing objectively the potential situations in which you may find yourself in one day and preparing for those. Nothing more and nothing less. That's an entire lifestyle and lifelong pursuit, at least the way I conceive survival and preparedness. As always, if you want to learn more about the stuff which is more about the knowledge acquired rather than the item that you have the channel with a ton of information, as well as my books, Survival Skills and Surviving the Economic Collapse. This is what I've been doing for a long time. And one of the things I've mentioned many times before is it's not only the things that I say here in the channel, the information that I share with you folks through my books, the knowledge accumulated and condensed here. It's many other things that I don't even mention anymore, or many things that I choose to not waste your time or mine with anymore. And that is where we end up talking about the dreaded survival kit. Now, don't get upset. I get it. Yeah, these are great. These are wonderful. Oh, I use my survival kit all the time, you idiot. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you're always surviving in nature, fishing, trout, along with Bigfoot and Yeti and the Himalayan mountains tops and whatnot. I'm sure that's your daily routine. Now, honestly, realistically, that is not what most people end up doing. And I do get it, because I built my survival kits myself since I was a child. Since I was a little kid, right, I built my survival kits, and that was fun. That was great. And you build your thing and you try to use it, and you actually end up using it, and it's awesome. And as you grow older, you keep on doing the same thing. You build survival kits like this one, the Altoids. That's a fun one. Look, you have, like, this surface could be a little bit of a mirror if you polish it, and you have a little knife in there, and a lighter, and a bag for water, and a bunch of other things, a fishing line, and it's great. It will so save you during an emergency and whatnot. Sure. Okay. And then you keep on doing these things. For example, this one, I even had some of these things being given to me as gifts from people that are extremely knowledgeable in survival and preparedness, which I do appreciate a whole lot. This is when I built myself for a survival knife of mine. This is a surgical steel box intended for sterilizing equipment, which also happens to be the perfect size for about the sheath that I wanted a kit for. So this is very nice. This one is a kit that I made. This was actually requested from some. This was Navy SEALs requesting a survival kit, right? And there was a list required, and this kit specifically is basically based. Yeah, this kit is based on those requirements, and there was a company that put those together. I basically did my improved version of that. Yeah, and that was fun. I mean, not only did I make these, I put several of these together, and I sold a bunch of them. I don't have any of those left. Those sold out the same day that I uploaded that video. So yeah, that was nice. And in case you're wondering, I mean, I didn't invent anything. I just put together these things and try to get the best possible equipment for it. And basically, this is it. This is basically the Navy SEAL survival kit requirement. I think they mentioned something about the container also could be used for digging, right? I don't know how much you're gonna dig with this lid, but sort of this, right? Not much more than that. And you could even boil a little bit of water here, but I understand why a Navy SEAL or an Army Special Forces dude or some tactical guy out there in the field would want to have a survival kit. I'm not questioning his line of job and what he thinks is important for his mission, right? Probably a tourniquet is a lot more likely to save his life, or proper maneuvering and not getting shot is a lot more likely to save his life than having a hook, line, and sink in his survival kit and fishing for calories in the middle of a evade and escape maneuver. I assume, I don't know. Fortunately, I've never been caught on any of that crap, so, I'm just assuming things here. But I'm assuming things based on many years of actually doing this and many years of when the hell is it that my little survival kit actually saved my ass? I cannot think of once. I did have fun putting these together. I did have fun using many of these little things, but you also realize that there are things that are far more important, and far more important than your little or bigger or whatever the heck it is. You could go with, and this is something I do actually carry around, another survival pouch with a bunch of things, and I'm not showing all of the content because look at this thing. Look at the amount of crap I cramped in there. You know what's a real challenge? Putting all of this stuff in this thing. That's the real challenge. Anyway, you honestly never use this because bear with me a couple more minutes. I promise I'm getting somewhere. This is, would you agree with me or not? Hey, that's not a bad, I have a small knife. I have a way of starting fire. Those are crucial things. Okay, when is it the last time that you actually use these things? Let's put these, as I always say, the knowledge is far more important than this thing you have. But one of the things you acquire with experience, with years, with researching nonstop is, I never use this stuff. You know what I use? Yeah, if I have to bring out a flashlight, I'd rather bring out the flashlight that I have in my pocket that is bigger, better, more powerful, right? Than the tiny mini flashlight that I have here. The little button cell thing, right? I do have one here. This one is better, okay? This one is better, and I already have it in my hand. Oh, but what about the rest? Well, you know what? This is in my pocket, and this is a wonderful tool, much better than the little one in my survival kit. So if I have nothing else, could I use this mini keychain thing? Yeah, it's sharp. It's actually even pointy. You could even use this to kind of defend yourself. But you know what? Whatever cut-in task I'm looking at, in my little survival kit Altoids kit, this is better. This is bigger, stronger, better, more capable. So I'm already going with two things that are in my pocket that are far more useful. In my case, it's going to be this. This is what's in my pocket. This is my survival kit that beats the ass of this thing or this one all day long in terms of actual being used and how capable each one of these tools is. This one I actually used it yesterday, and it wasn't anything crazy, but we were walking, a bunch of us, and because it's so powerful, you could actually put some of the higher output mode, and it would illuminate half of the street for everyone that did not have a flashlight, by the way, right? So this one is okay, and it probably would have done very nicely. This one does even better because it has more lumen output, right? Not as compact, which is a thing that you may want to consider, but this is what I go with. I'm not judging someone that instead of having this in his pockets like I do, goes with this. Just a keychain, flashlight, little Victorinox, and you're good. You have a few things to get by, okay? If I have these things in my pocket or in my fanny pack, which these days is being carried across the chest for the cool guys, these are things that you end up using more. This I have with me all the time, and I use it all the time, and I don't even know what it's saving me from because it's just cleaning my hands from the dirty ass people out there in the world. And as you see, I'm not just showing you things. This is almost empty because I use it all the damn time, right? These are the things you use. Oh, could you start a fire? Well, actually, yeah, because in my Leatherman, I also have a fire steel, which would be fairly easy to ignite this because it's over 60% alcohol, so it would burn rather easily. And even with whatever fiber I have, which, by the way, another thing that I have with me in my fanny pack thing is, disposable Kleenex stuff. All right, so this is the survival kit that you honestly start putting together, which is far, far better and far more useful for so many other things and more realistic scenarios than, fishing in the wild to survive while escaping from the enemy, okay? Which, I get it. It is something that for some people it may be a thing. For the enormous majority of you guys watching this, it is not. One other thing that I add, and I'll end the video with this, is a small first aid kit. Now, I don't have gunshot wound full kit here, right? In this thing, I'm not even including a tourniquet, which at times, and depending on where I'm going and whatnot, yeah, in one of my bigger EDC bags, depending on what I'm doing, I will have one, a bigger first aid kit and hemostatic gauze and tourniquet and whatnot. But this one, this could even fit in your pocket. And at times, if I have my cargo pants, this will go there. This fits in your cargo pant pockets. Now, for someone that is on tight, skinny jeans, it's probably gonna be more like, it's probably gonna be more like this. This is what fits in your skinny jeans and not much more, right? And it's better than nothing. But if I have this, I have what? I have a couple, some of the Band-Aids that you could have. I have some of the gauze, not gauze, some of the little Band-Aids, and one of the larger Band-Aid kind of thing that folds into 3, and that one you can put on a larger wound. But most of all, ibuprofen and aspirin. Aspirin, if we do this, as I said at the start of the video, if you do this in a responsible manner and you have an objective view of things, the thing that is far more likely to save your life, I'll up you one more, right? Let's go this. The thing that is far more likely to save my life or someone else's life, talking from an objective point of view, is the aspirin that you have in there. Because far more likely than anything else is having a heart attack and dropping dead in the street. It could be yourself. It could be someone else around you, loved ones. It could be someone on the street that you don't even know. But if someone starts clenching at his chest as if an elephant is stepping on it, and that is something that is overwhelmingly far more likely to happen than so many of the other things that we talk about, an aspirin improves your your chances of survival up to 20-25%. And the sooner you get that aspirin, the more likely it is to save your life. Or if not, at the very least, it's going to reduce the impact, the damage, the side effects, the damage done by that heart attack is going to be reduced considerably by having that aspirin in your mouth as soon as possible. I'm just talking about objective stuff here, guys. This is not me making shit up. This is objectively what it is. And if you don't agree with me, let me know where. Let me know the stat that says, oh, no, you're far more likely to, end up fighting for your life with hobos on the streets with a knife. No, statistically speaking, it's the aspirin because of heart attacks. That's why. Because it improves your chances so much. 25%. That is huge. You're about to fucking die. You have a heart attack. Aspirin is very likely to save your life. Or at the very least, let's put it this way, has a much improved margin of survivability if you have it with you. Nothing else is even close to that. So, instead of carrying anything else, carry an aspirin. Seriously, you see how when you start doing this objective analysis of things as they are, you start finding things that you don't hear often in these videos about EDC, survival kits and whatnot. We end up talking about what the Navy SEAL dude asked for, which probably was his own personal opinion and what he wanted himself, which is great. Oh yeah, I request this. You know what? Go make me my survival kit because I will have it in my cargo pants. Maybe once or twice. Then I'll get bored of carrying this shit around and never carry it away. I'm just assuming things here, all right? But yeah. Oh, this is what we're going to talk about. You know who talks about aspirin saving your life? No one. Well, I do now. But this is the kind of thing that you should do for realistic survival and preparedness if you want to be serious about it. Okay? Folks, see you next time. Take care.